Brenda Lee, born on December 11, 1944 in Atlanta, Georgia, entered the world during a time of hardship. Growing up in a poor working-class family, her early years were marked by constant moves due to her father's unstable construction jobs. Brenda's childhood was not tied to a permanent home, but rather a series of cramped, three-room houses without basic amenities. Yet, amid this struggle, music became her escape and form of expression. The family's prized possession was a battery-powered radio, which introduced her to the world of music, shaping the young girl's future. Her first stage was the local Baptist church, where she sang regularly, not for applause, but as a way of connecting to something larger than herself. Before she could walk properly, her voice was already catching attention, marking the start of her remarkable musical journey. A voice beyond her years. By the time Brenda Lee was 5 or 6 years old, her voice had already begun to gain recognition. She won a local singing contest and was invited to perform on a radio program in Atlanta. What started as a hobby quickly turned into a more demanding schedule, as Brenda became a regular performer on local shows. But the turning point came in 1955 when she was invited to perform on national television with Red Foley. This unexpected opportunity marked the beginning of her professional career. At just 10 years old, Brenda Lee was thrust into the spotlight, her voice already far more mature than her age. Her appearance on Ozark Jubilee opened the doors to the national music scene, marking the point where her childhood began to blur with the pressures of a career she wasn't yet old enough to fully understand. The professional pressure of a young star. In 1957, Brenda Lee faced her first taste of the entertainment industry's harsh realities when her 5-year contract with Ozark Jubilee was terminated following a legal dispute. To the outside world, it was just another business matter. But for Brenda, it was a harsh introduction to the way the industry could grind down young talent. While her peers were still going to school, Brenda was thrust into the pressure cooker of the entertainment world. In 1956, she had already signed a recording contract with Decca Records, and her music began to circulate. However, her early singles, such as Jambalaya and 2 Christmas songs, didn't find much commercial success. The industry was unsure how to categorize her voice, and as a result, Brenda Lee's potential was initially underestimated, reduced to a label, Little Miss Dynamite, a child prodigy expected to perform beyond her years. Breakthrough with one step at a time. In 1957, Brenda Lee found her breakthrough with One Step at a Time. The song crossed both pop and country charts, a rare feat at the time. It marked the first time her voice was not dismissed as a novelty, but acknowledged as a powerful force in the music world. Little Miss Dynamite became a nickname that followed her everywhere, but with it came enormous expectations. Brenda Lee was no longer just a child star. She was now a young woman with the pressure to keep delivering explosive performances. Each appearance, each song release was met with anticipation, pushing Brenda to meet the demand for perfection while still struggling with the demands of growing up in the public eye. The strain of being Little Miss Dynamite. As Brenda Lee's career exploded, so did the pressure to maintain it. Her early successes led to a steady stream of hits, and each new single was expected to do better than the last. Songs like Sweet Nothings quickly climbed to the top of the charts, not because of showy vocal tricks, but because of Brenda's ability to convey intimacy and vulnerability through her voice. Her delivery felt personal, as if each song were a private conversation with the listener. This emotional restraint, however, was both a gift and a burden. As her career grew, the expectations grew even higher. She was not just expected to sing, she was expected to explode with each new performance. The weight of these expectations began to take its toll. Yet Brenda Lee continued to navigate the complex demands of her career, balancing the desire to express herself while being confined by the relentless machinery of the music industry. Expanding emotional range. By the time Brenda Lee reached her peak, her career was marked by a series of successful songs that pushed the boundaries of pop music at the time. Hits like I Want to Be Wanted and Fool. Number One not only showcased her vocal prowess, but highlighted her ability to bring a level of emotional depth that was rare in pop music at the time. Brenda was no longer just a teen singing love songs. She was becoming a woman, her voice maturing with each passing year. The emotional range she displayed in her performances reflected a growth that the industry was not quite ready for. While other young female singers of the time were expected to perform with youthful exuberance, Brenda Lee's emotional restraint and nuanced delivery set her apart, turning each song into a masterclass in vocal control and emotional depth. The hidden pressure behind the success. While Brenda Lee continued to top the charts, the relentless pace of her career started to wear her down. Each new song became a test of whether she could maintain her place at the top of the pop world. Despite her success, there was little room for error. The pressure to stay relevant in an ever-changing musical landscape made every release feel like a potential risk. Songs like Break It to Me, Gently, and Everybody Loves Me. But you marked a shift in her style. Her voice remained steady, but the delivery became more measured, as if she had learned to control the emotion rather than letting it burst out. This subtle shift was not just an artistic choice, it was a necessity. Brenda Lee was beginning to understand that her strength lay in restraint, in holding back, instead of letting the floodgates open with every performance. I'm Sorry, and a shift in musical direction. Brenda Lee's career reached a new peak with I'm Sorry, a song that marked a significant turning point in her musical journey. The soft string arrangement, gentle backing vocals, and seamless flow of the song allowed Brenda's voice to exist without the need to perform. Unlike her previous songs, which were marked by explosive emotion, I'm Sorry showcased a more refined, controlled version of Brenda Lee's voice. This was a new kind of strength, one that did not require constant effort to prove itself. The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, earned gold certification, and received a Grammy nomination, but its true impact lay in how it reshaped the perception of Brenda Lee's voice. She had transitioned from a pop star who was expected to perform on command to an artist whose voice was celebrated for its depth and emotional range. The enduring legacy. As Brenda Lee's career progressed, she became a paradox in the music world. The quieter she sang, the heavier her career became. The more she restrained her emotions, the greater her success. Yet, this delicate balance between control and expression carried its own burden. Brenda Lee's legacy, while never fully forgotten, was not the flashy comeback often associated with former stars. Instead, her career was a quiet journey marked by unexpected chart successes, like her enduring Christmas classic Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, which returned her to the top of the Billboard charts years after its initial release. Brenda Lee had become a talent whose voice transcended the pressures of fame, emerging as a figure whose impact on the music world continued to resonate long after the spotlight faded. Through it all, her resilience in the face of immense pressure became the true story of her career, a story that is still being told today.